I am the parade chairman.
Yay!
She's the important one.
Yeah,
Well.
kind of a big deal. Yeah,
A little
yeah,
bit.
yeah. Well, we're going to be talking about, of course, we're all excited about it, and this is definitely the time for Pekin to shine. And I just said the other day, when I see that banner going up, I get butterflies. I get so excited.
Yes. They put it up on June 4th this year, and Gary Kinzer from the Telemedia, he texted me. He's like, the banner is up, and I was so excited. So I went home from work that night, took pictures, and so it's a big deal.
It is. When you're going through, and all of a sudden, there's no banner, and all of a sudden you see it, it's like, oh, we're getting close. Yeah, something's brewing.
The anxiety really sinks in.
Yeah. For you guys. For us, we're like, oh, yay. Yeah. Laura, let's take our
Absolutely. We have Walmart, Meadowview, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Kentucky and Canton Court, and Dr. Blackside Associates,
Yay.
Dr. Mindy Gunn.
Thank you to our wonderful sponsors, and so happy to have our sponsors with us. And I want to kind of go over, we are going to be also possibly talking with either Bill from the Salem Speedway, or we possibly could be talking to Frank Kimball. I'm not for sure which one's going to call in. We'll take both if they are in a Potterty line, whichever one we can get. Definitely we'll take both. But let's start off and let's jump right in, if that's good for our 4th of July gals. Let's talk about the Pekin and what makes the event the oldest continuous celebration. Let's talk about that and the uniqueness of the Pekin 4th.
Yeah, so it started all the way back in 1830.
We were not here.
A long time ago.
Believe it or not, I was not sitting in here. Okay?
Right. And it used to, just be picnics, and people would ride in on trains and their horses, and just have little get-togethers with their families. So we have come a long, long way in 191 years.
Right. I think that tradition is so important to talk about, because you think about coming, like we talked. I mean, you really listen. I love to think about, like, in detail. I mean, some ladies, and maybe men too, if there was a barbecue grill somewhere, I'm sure a man was involved. But most ladies would have got up, and I'm just thinking, while everybody's sleeping, and start frying that chicken.
Yep.
Correct.
Am I JC?
No. Walmart was not available either. You know what I mean? So somebody's been frying that chicken. Well, for somebody probably wring that chicken's neck.
Right.
Oh, you know what I mean? Right. That might happen around 2 or 3. I always try to think of what the life would have been, and then 4 o'clock maybe start frying that chicken. And then peeling those potatoes. I mean, all right. No, you got to have potato salad. You got to have potatoes, right? If it's my family, your family, our family, right? So you think about all that, and then putting that picnic together, and then getting everybody up, and getting, of course, hair comb, shoes on, underwear.
I just imagine going big, like the big fancy dresses.
Oh,
and,
I know.
like big hats.
Yes.
Like
I would love it.
Yeah, and they had to pull their hair up. Who had time, right? I mean, you had to do a nice little bun or something, because nobody's got time.
I haven't been in that.
Right? I mean, this is the breakdown, girls. I mean, I was gonna wear me out just to talk about a day in that life, right? And then load everybody up, and then head on out. So you have to realize the dedication and how much it meant to someone to do all that. The reason my whole story was because it really meant a lot to these people to do this.
Yeah.
And and also you're missing a day of work.
Yeah.
Right, which would be important. You're missing a day of whatever that you had going, and to come. And I just feel like that we can learn a lot from that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And spending that family time, taking that picnic, that was so important for them, and it should be important to us.
We have a lot to celebrate. Independence Day it's important, and it's a day for us to be thankful and grateful for the people who have fought their way for us to have what we have today. So I think that's important when, people always ask, why do you do this? So what do you do this for? And, that's why I do it for the people who fought so hard for us to be able to do it. And of course, to keep the tradition going. That's important.
But I love, and I think that this is radio, I know, and Laura, you agree with me. Taylor, you're young. Trish, you're young. And I love, it's sometimes harder to get maybe sometimes the younger ones involved. Do you feel that? I mean, I'm sure you-
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
And as you get older too, you're going to find it, trying to get younger ones to.
Yes, I was the youngest to ever join. I was 17.
Yeah, I
when
remember.
joined. Yeah, so they kind of conned me and pulled me in when I won
Hey, they
queen.
did what they had to do. Okay? I'm with them on that. Okay.
But our secretary, she's young. She's a little bit younger than me, so I'm trying my best to get some people.
It's hard.
It is
It
hard.
is.
It's like pulling teeth.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and
Right.
the younger kids, they don't understand of it, or maybe they didn't grow up coming to the Pekin Fourth. So for someone like me, I've literally only missed one Pekin Fourth my entire life, and my mom took me to Disney World, and I was mad at her. Like, I wanted to be in Pekin. And
Aww.
she's like, tell them we're at Disney. It was like supposed to be this grand thing.
Whoa, hang on. Do you know how much money Mom paid?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's so it's always been very important to me. And my daughter, she has been in the parade since she was 7 months old. Tish's daughter is, well, she was 5 months old, her
Yeah.
first fourth.
Love that. Love that.
So, we're hoping to raise our babies to love the Pekin Fourth, and who knows, maybe one day they'll be here,
They'll take our
helping.
spot.
Yeah, they'll take mama's spots. But it is important to get more help, and of course the younger people, because we have some elderly people on the betterment who we're so thankful for their knowledge, but they've kind of done their time and they're getting a little tired and want to rest, which we totally understand. So we need the help.
Yeah. Well, and I think keeping up the tradition and importance. I mean, you're talking many years and it being handed down, and just like your children have been involved, and then they'll know that and be a part too.
Yeah.
But it is something that I feel like we really need to make contagious for everybody to be involved in, because there's so much that goes on, and it would be so nice to have and also new ideas and different ideas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
We try to bring the new
Yeah.
ones to,
You do.
bring in
Yes, you
new
do.
stuff, and sometimes it doesn't go well, but it's a learning experience, and sometimes it goes, over tremendously, and so we keep it going.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Well, let's talk about and then of course I love when we had our COVID last year and everything, it was something that Pekin was just not settling for.
Yeah, no, we were not taking no as an answer.
Yeah, I was gonna say a little bit of pushback there.
Yeah.
But you also it says a lot about your committee. You guys are shakers and movers, and
Yeah.
you realize that this is so important.
Yeah, and we had literally like played
Yeah, I think there was even a Z somewhere.
Yeah. So, and we are thankful, that we had the higher officials who worked with us well, because they didn't want us, to have to completely cancel it, and
Right.
they understood how important it was to us, even though they weren't from here. So we are grateful that we were able to continue the celebration, and for all the help that we received, because it took a lot to put it on last year. Even though it was
Yeah.
small for us, it took a lot. So,
Right. And so actually, the parade was held,
It was.
and it was done very safely,
Yes.
and you followed the guidelines. You were very good on that.
No walk.
it's positive reactions from everybody.
Yeah.
So we're keeping some of those things that we
Yeah.
did
And what
last
were they
year.
some of the things that you kind of changed a little bit?
So like the walkers, we're not having walkers.
That'll
and
probably
then,
make less gap.
Yes.
Do you feel that? I mean,
Yes.
because that was a pretty
Yeah.
just there's a little bit of a
it
gap.
flowed so much smoother
Yeah.
because of that.
Yeah.
And the contamination, a lot of times people will hand out things,
Yes.
shake hands. So we wanted to completely put a stop to that, just because of, maintaining your 6 feet apart and that kind of thing. That was a big one for us.
It was.
And then we also kind of, the commercial floats, for like one company, instead of having 7 or 8 of their vehicles, we limited it to 2. Because that kept the parade lineup down, like at the school itself, less interaction. We still wanted to have a nice parade, but we wanted to do it in a safe manner. And we felt you could still get your company out and participate in the parade without having, 7 or 8 vehicles. You can just put your 2 in, and put a trailer on, or we allowed for
Yeah.
that to happen if
Yeah.
people wanted to put a trailer on. Some of the firefighters had people like on top of the truck, so a lot of people still got to be in it, and we still had about an hour and a half
It
parade
was
last
still
year.
a good parade.
Yeah,
regardless.
Absolutely. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
So, but those are the two big ones.
Yeah, and it worked well for
Yes.
us, and local law enforcement appreciated it too.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So-
No doubt.
We had to keep them happy.
Definitely.
And
Well, they
they
take care of us.
keep
We
them
have to
happy.
take care of them. Yeah, definitely. So let's go over, and I know, and it's fun because you have kept so many things the same. 10 a.m., 10 a.m.,
Yeah,
10 a.m.
rain or shine.
You know what I mean? I think that I'd love for that to be like the $1 million question. I mean, I can cha-ching. I know that. But let's talk about the parade route, the route. I guess the tomato. That the Pekin Fourth goes into, and I know there will be people that will want to know maybe those.
Taylor?
Yeah, so we meet at Eastern High School. You'll come in right to the high school entrance. You'll see people lined up at the middle school, but we ask that you come in through the high school because that's where our tent will be set up to get you where you need to go. You can show up as early as 7 a.m. if you'd like. We ask that everybody be there by 8:30 to get ready, last minute decorations, if anything needs to change or whatever. The judging will go on at 8:30. And then we'll leave from the school at about 9:55, head out towards Blue River Road. That's where we'll meet the horses and the band on Blue River Road. And then we'll go on to Main Street, where we'll meet the Betterment train, the famous Betterment train, and the Color Guard. We'll meet them as well. We'll go down Main Street all the way across the railroad tracks onto Highway 60. And then we'll go on to South 3rd Street around the park, and that will be the completion of the parade around the park. So
Awesome. Yeah.
it's a good little route,
It is.
and I've walked it a few times, so the walkers really need to be appreciative because it's a hot, long walk.
Yeah. So like if whoever is putting on the float, they say we want you to walk. No, can't walk anymore.
Yeah.
We've done it. We can't do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I know the
I've
school
had-
has to make them
Yeah.
walk.
I've had my family walk. My girls, they are thankful that there's
Yes.
no walking right now.
Yeah, well, we seen the Salem football team at the
Oh.
fair parade,
That's
and I felt so bad for those boys.
her son is
a football player?
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, they were drenched, and I felt so bad for them.
Oh, you need to tell them Taylor had a heart for you.
Yes, we were at the end of the
Oh.
parade by Circle K, and I was like, I'm so sorry.
You should. I'm surprised the mommy didn't come out and hug.
No sweaty heads.
Sweaty hug, yeah.
Right.
Oh. Yeah, Laura. What was that opinion? Was he?
I think he enjoyed it, but he was done.
Oh,
He was done.
Needed a pull afterwards.
Yeah.
A ride home.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you'll be fine. You walked that far. Are you coming to get me? I'm like, ooh.
Right.
What's hilarious was the cheerleaders were on float, right? They rode.
Yes.
It was cute because here's the girls on the float walking or riding, waving, and
Looking
here's
all
the boys,
pretty.
like, yeah.
Poor boy.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the boys didn't get any
Yeah.
float.
Yay, go
A
Blair!
helmet and some tennis shoes.
Right. Yes.
It was really good though. It was really cute. It was very impressive, but we felt for them boys.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, so we're not doing the walkers, all right. And so the place for people to line up is just find kind of an open spot and just the Pekin Park's a really
Or
good
do you mean
shape.
where to sit? Like
Oh, okay.
Anywhere along the route. Of course, respect people's private property,
Right,
their
right.
houses and things like that.
Exactly.
But a lot of the local businesses, they're allowing people to set out. Telemedia is a big one. They're actually one of our platinum sponsors. They sponsor the Betterment every year, but they allow people to sit on their land. Pub Atop, the bar, Silver Fox Cafe, all along Highway 60. A lot of those businesses allow people to sit.
I talked to them.
Yeah, and
Thank you
the
for
old
that.
National City Bank. I honestly don't know what it is now, but that brick building right
Yeah.
there by the railroad tracks, a lot of people squeeze in there. So just, and then around the park is normally pretty packed too. I'm hoping to see people squash like sardines this year.
Yeah.
Because last year we couldn't have that, and it was sad. The attendance was way down, and even though people still came out, they were not squashed like sardines, and
Right.
that's honestly my favorite part of the parade is seeing all those faces and. Which of course everybody we ask to still be careful. Stay home if you are sick. If you feel like you need to wear a mask, or but we have tons of hand sanitizer, hand washing stations. So we're doing our best to keep everything safe and clean like we did last year.
Right. And I think that's such a blessing, and I think that's probably something that's going to stick. Don't you feel with most festivals is the hand washing and the
shout out to the Washington County Health Department.
Absolutely.
They always give us those. Hand washing stations, and then the Census Bureau actually we got 2 pallets of hand sanitizer pumps from them. They were giving them out for free before the census shut down in June, so we got 2 pallets of those, and they'll be by all the porta potties and just throughout the park spread out.
And please utilize them everywhere.
Yes,
please. That's
please.
wonderful. Yeah.
They'll be by the food vendors and all that stuff.
Wow. Well, let's go back then to, let's talk, okay, so we're excited about the parade, 10 a.m. Monday, and of course, real quick, just a little recap, tradition, that's the way,
It is.
And Taylor, I have actually personally have, I think you just need that like on a recording and just have it loop and loop and loop, and I know you're just like, and you've got really the patience of Job. You're doing really good.
Thank you.
People, this is something that Taylor Humphrey did not come up with. Okay,
No.
nor did Trish. I mean, this is something that happened 7 years ago, and it'll happen 7 more years, or unless something changes. But as of right now, it is when it falls on a Sunday. It is on a Monday.
Yes. And we will still have some events Sunday after church hours. So at 1 o'clock, we will still have some events. Just the parade will not happen on the actual 4th this year.
But we will be videoing it. We will be having it on.
Yes.
So and it'll be fun. You can actually sit in your air conditioning and watch it.
On WSLN.
Or take your early lunch hour if you're at work. You know what I mean? Or just get the whole office together and watch it if you have to go back to work.
Right.
So anyway, I just wanted to just lightly go over that. Really, just kind of remind everybody, because we're still. Yesterday still getting asked, why is it on there?
I posted some pictures of like our ad books from 1971, and it just so happened to fall on a Monday that year, or the 4th fell on a Sunday, so we had it Monday the 5th, and that was in 1971.
And you were not born.
I was not born. No. My mom wasn't born.
You were not a twinkle in anybody's eye.
No.
Right. So anyway, that's just the way it is.
Yeah,
okay.
But the fireworks are still on the 3rd. I've had a lot of questions about that. Fireworks are still
Let's
on
talk
the 3rd.
about that. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Yeah.
So straight shooters will start lighting off the fireworks at dark, as always. So we expect around 10 o'clock for them to go off.
Right. And there's some new fireworks out. So I am sure that they are going to display them. They
have. It's amazing, and the lingo that they talk about these fireworks. We try to understand.
There's names for these fireworks.
Yes, and then the shell size, and I'm like, okay, sure. I like them all. They all look really good. But our firework guys, Tim and Paul, they go above and beyond to try to make sure we have the absolute best show. And it's been really hard for them to get fireworks in this year, from COVID and inflation going up, shipping prices. So they've actually already started, like now, buying for next year. We already voted on the price and the coverage for next year. We've already voted. We did at our June meeting, actually, because of the changes in the prices and shipping and stuff like that. So they do a heck of a show, and they definitely put on their absolute best. They don't give us anything less than that.
Yeah, they do, and they do a wonderful job.
Yeah.
And it's always, you always, from last year, how can they top that? And they always do. They always do a better show every year. It seems like. But I know they've got some new fireworks out, and of course, it's amazing the mindset of even how to make fireworks. And how you make them. And you have your different levels. I'm not a fireworks expert, but I think they're really, you've got your ground level, you got your, the ones that kind of go up, then you got the ones that go really high. You got your different tiers of fireworks, and it's
like
amazing.
Like they twinkle down. That's my favorite.
you know, right? And that sounds like bacon.
Yes. Those are my fave.
Yeah, I know. Always go back to food.
Right.
Absolutely.
There will be plenty of food.
I'm
Absolutely.
excited for that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know, Laura. We're chopping it. We're going to find that out. But
Yeah.
the fireworks, and again, the start time is kind of depends on what our
Depends on
sun
the
does.
sky. Yeah. So we say around 10, but it doesn't hurt to get to the park. 9:30. Get a good spot, because people camp out all day waiting for the fireworks. So it's like our mini Thunder over Louisville and Pekin.
Oh, it is. It's wonderful, and I love that, and I think it's fun to, as the children get older, and each year, it means more, as they get older and realize, and start seeing them in the sky, and
Yes.
and you can see them for miles.
Yeah.
It's crazy how how far they go.
Yeah. They can see them pretty far.
Yeah.
People sit all over in Pekin. They don't just sit at the park.
Oh no!
So,
Yeah.
they camp out at local churches and just down the road from the highway. So yeah, it'll be a good show. We're excited, and we're excited to have them back, because that is one of the things that we had to cancel last year, was the fireworks
I
show.
remember that.
So
Yeah.
we were still on lockdown on July 3rd last year. So and then July 4th, thankfully at midnight we got lucky,
Yes.
but for July 3rd we were technically still on lockdown, so we were not able to have them. So,
Right, and I remember that. But I do think, and I want to, make sure that everybody remind everybody how expensive they are.
yes.
So the hats off to the committee that that raises enough money. When you hear a fundraiser for the Pekin 4th, this is part of it.
Yes.
And fireworks are not cheap.
No,
I mean, they're
no.
very expensive, and of course, the more showy they are, the more production they are, the more they're going to cost, right?
We do appreciate the town of Pekin, the town hall. They give us a donation as well for
Love
the
that.
town fireworks. So
Wonderful.
shout out to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and everybody,
Yeah.
that makes this possible.
Yeah.
And it's giving back to the community, and this is wonderful. And of course, we love when you can showcase a beautiful community. And of course, Pekin, you've got so many new things that you've done, changes, and from your new buildings and stuff, and everything looks so nice.
Well, thank you.
So it's a time to showcase it for anybody that's not been to Pekin in a while, or maybe it's a good reunion. Don't you feel like
It
people
is.
come home?
Yeah. A lot of military people come home
Oh,
for this
now
time.
you're gonna.
yeah. So it's nice
Love
to
that.
see. We do a plaque every year for the one who has traveled the longest. And a lot of times those are they go to our military members. They get to come home for the 4th. We've had them from like Japan and Guam and all over the place. So I think that's pretty neat that this is the 4th is like a reunion for families. A lot of times it's nice. So
Yeah, that's wonderful.
yeah.
I love that. Look, and Laura knows about the military too.
Yeah.
We love our military.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's wonderful. That's pretty cool. Well, all right, so let's jump in and let's talk about the food.
Yeah.
All right.
I got a food vendor texting me right now.
All right.
Actually.
Tell them yes, bring the extra. Yes. Extra sugar, extra salt.
Right.
Plenty of that in your whatever.
Yeah, so they're setting up right now. Health department will come and do their inspections today. And then
Which a lot of people maybe don't realize that that all the food, trucks and everything is the health
Yes.
department is on board with.
we have to be safe. We don't want anybody getting sick or wash your hands, stay clean, good cooked food. But yeah, so we have some new food vendors this year. We have Junkyard Barbecue. They're actually out of Seymour, Indiana. And they're coming. Julian Romero from JK's food shop down here. She has a food truck and she's local. She's here in Salem, and this will be her first year coming. So we're excited to have her and have someone local.
Could you tell what she? Laura and I went. Taylor, you're not giving us enough details.
Okay. So she's
We really
gonna
have
do.
to choose this. I mean, we're making big decisions.
You're gonna want to eat everywhere.
Yes.
Yes, you're gonna want breakfast, lunch, and dinner all 3 days.
Love that.
Yeah.
Wear your buffet pants.
Right. So, Julian, she had an amazing menu. She gave me 4 menus to choose from.
She's got it. That girl can cook.
Yes.
Yes.
But we chose to do street tacos from her because we didn't have another truck that had tacos. So she'll be doing street tacos, which I'm I love talking. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
And then we have Corky Vance. He'll be back with Vance Concessions. He's our pizza truck. And we have Bert's Quality Provisions. He is from New Albany. He's doing smoked food. So smoked ribs, ham, turkey, smoked barbecue, but it's a rub instead of like the sauce. Junkyard barbecue is more of the sauce barbecue. Who else do we have? Oh, we have Miller's Food Concessions, and they are your regular, fair food, corn dogs, pork tenderloins, the big fat pork tenderloins. We'll have lemon shake-ups, and then we have another set of Millers who are doing kind of the same thing. So we'll have two sets of Millers there. Yep, 6 Scoops Ice Cream will be there. The Borden Lions Club, they'll be doing their fish fry, their annual fish fry. So if you like fish, go visit them in the shelter house.
Yes.
And then our ride guys, they also bring a food truck, and they'll do, funnel cakes and stuff like that. So there will be plenty of food for everyone. Yes. So I'm excited for some fair food. Yeah, I'm excited for some fair food. So we're excited for our new vendors. We, of course, have, some that Corky has been a long time. He's not missed a fourth, and I can't tell you how long, besides, of course, for last year when everybody had to miss for the food vendors. Millers, they come quite a bit, but the rest of them are new, so we're excited to have them.
I think if you can't find something, I question. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you can find.
You must not be hungry.
Something wrong with you. I'm just not hungry.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's a lot. That's a lot. That's a good variety too.
Yeah.
So you try to specifically, like, if somebody's going to bring something and someone else brings something else.
Yeah.
And I love that. So
Yeah.
that not every. I mean, of course, you said you got a couple that are, but that'll be nice if they have, if one has a long line, go to the other one.
Yes. And there will be long lines. We just ask that you be patient and polite to the food vendors because they are working, all night long.
Yeah.
So our barbecue people, they actually are bringing their smoker and they're camping out because they'll be smoking all night long. So they're going to be exhausted and hot, and we know that the lines are long. There's 10,000 people there, and only so many trucks. So just ask that you be polite and patient and thankful for their service because we're thankful for them. Choosing Pekin. There's some other festivals going on
absolutely.
right now,
Yeah.
and they chose to come to us, so we're thankful to have them.
Yeah. So now, when someone, just kind of making sure everybody knows when you go, you need to bring cash.
I would say cash. Yeah, just to be on the safe side. We don't have an ATM.
Right.
And I don't know. They honestly haven't said. That's a good question. I need to find that out if they have the
Some
option
have card
for
readers probably, and some don't. But I would err on I would go ahead and say they don't.
Yeah,
Majority of
just
them,
plan ahead.
Yeah.
Same with the rides for the tickets and stuff, the ticket rides. So I would go ahead and bring cash just to be on the safe side.
Right. Awesome. Okay, and then let's talk about the rides. What kind of rides and who do we get?
Bluegrass Amusements. They're out of Kentucky. Tony Best, and we've had him a couple of times this year. I actually drove by last night on my way home from work, and it looks like we have some pretty nice rides this year. The Tempest, which was, I can't ride rides this year because I'm pregnant. So I no rides for me. Right? But the Tempest is there this year. That's a new one that he just bought. So I think that'll be nice for the older kids.
Explain what the Tempest is.
It's like the circle. It goes in circles, but the whole machine moves. They used to have it at the Salem Fair.
I do remember it. Yes, I thought that. Yeah, it kind of takes you almost like a funnel round and round and round and around.
Yes.
Whoa,
and
I remember that one. That one got me.
Yes. And
that is.
They're gonna do the big slide where you get in the little sack, and he said it's like a 40-foot slide. And
love the slide.
They'll do that.
Yeah.
They've got swings. They've got a carousel. They have. It's called the Fireball. It's kind of like the octopuses, Hollywood used to have.
Yes.
And so they've got that, but it's called the Fireball.
Oh, I love that. Boy, I've not seen one of those in a while.
I know, yeah. So he brought a lot of new rides. They actually traveled to Nashville a couple of days ago to pick up rides to bring to us. So there's quite a variety. Tony also does inflatables, like the bouncy houses, and he's got a brand new dinosaur bouncy house. gifts for the little kids.
Your grandson.
Oh,
yes.
you know it.
Heaven.
We love a good bouncy house.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I have to say I am so, if they'll let me in.
Yeah, right. They should. They should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, and dinosaurs are right up our alley. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're talking our talk.
Well, yeah, all the grandboys.
Oh, they love that. Yeah.
So he'll have that, and yeah, there's quite a bit, and then some game trucks as well. You know, like the dart and the balloon one. He'll have that, but they were bringing more in this morning, so we'll be surprised again when we get there this morning to see what else they brought in overnight. So,
I love that. Awesome.
Yeah, so we're excited.
Well, so from food to rides and I know everyone's talked about this right, but it's such a blessing because actually it's made everything wet, so it's not so dry for fireworks, which is a safer,
Good.
I mean, because if we were having a dry season, I'm sure the fire department would all be like, be a little bit on guard. So that really is a blessing, and it's brought our humidity down a little bit. We're going to be, which I know it's going to go back up. I know.
Just in time for Monday. I looked already.
But the weather's nice. We're going to have a nice, and so really, to be honest, that rain has been a blessing in the fact that it's going to be a good thing because we're going to have more wet ground.
Yeah.
Than
Thankfully, a lot of the rides were already set up. My concern was the ground being too soft for some of these heavy rides.
Right.
Because they sometimes get stuck when they go to pull them out.
Sure.
And so thankfully they had already brought in quite a bit, but they did have to move a ride to the asphalt right there outside of the shelter house because the ground was a little soft yesterday. They did have to do that. But overall, I think it was a good thing for us to have that rain. And Tim and Paul are always very safe with fireworks, but you can never be too safe.
Right.
So that wet stuff will help a lot.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, I think and I know they're very professional. I think it will turn out to be a blessing because that is, and I'm sure that's actually really a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. They were probably relieved from it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. So okay, let's kind of go back, kind of the format. Okay, so let's start. Okay, all right. Today's Friday. Yay!
Yeah.
You girls starting off right, big red. Okay. Yay! I need to be a part of this committee. Okay, because this is the way to start off your morning. Okay. Yeah, I'm a little jealous over there. Okay.
I would have thought you would have.
No. Yeah, you got me. I love big red. Yes, I love it. Okay, so we start off today. Okay, and we're gonna, we're doing coffee club this morning. And where do we go? And what are our listeners? When can we start doing things?
Yeah, so tomorrow at 8 a.m., the 3-on-3 basketball tournaments. Registration starts for that. That'll be down at the park at the courtyard. So that's behind the shelter house. George Browning is in charge of that.
He did a wonderful job.
And this has been something that everybody has begged to come back. We haven't had it for a couple of years now. So we expect to see a lot of faces tomorrow morning.
Now, if an individual, okay, so do you have to have your team, or like if you're an individual, could you maybe like come if there's a couple others that would want to be a part?
It's possible. I don't think that's a yes or no question because we don't know who all was going to show up. We didn't do pre-registration this year. But I mean, it's very possible, or God forbid, someone gets too hot or hurt or they need an extra player. I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
A good sub.
Yeah, good sub. But, most people will probably have their 3 people for their team.
Okay.
It's $30 a team, $10 a person. And then it'll go based on like your age group. They'll do different groups. And that, I'm assuming that's going to be an all day thing, depending on how many people we get to show up. So
I love that. That's very popular. Yeah.
Yeah, we're excited to have it back. For a couple years, we couldn't find anybody to run it. But George, he was kind enough this year. He said, I'll take the charge. So we let him.
Awesome. Yeah. And that's what that volunteer person that says, I'll do it.
Yeah.
That's what a blessing.
Because they wouldn't want me doing it. I know nothing about basketball. So I'd be like, okay, who wants to play next?
That's hilarious. No, you didn't share that ball. Come on,
That's hilarious. Yeah, so we're thankful George is doing that. But then that'll be the only thing really going on in the morning and to midday. But 4 o'clock is when the rides will start. And we'll have Spin Around Sound karaoke, or they're not doing karaoke, it was Spin Around. Spin Around Sound will be like DJing, and then we'll go into the Wax Factory, which they have the karaoke. So Wax Factory is a band. and they'll be singing and everything. But then, if anybody remembers the Pekin Idol, we don't have a Pekin Idol anymore. However, the Wax Factory is going to do a karaoke with the band, so you'll get live music behind you. You can go on the Betterment page to sign up for that and pick your song. They have a whole website. I think it's like a Google Doc thing, but you'll get to sing and perform with the band behind you. So that'll be really cool.
Oh, I love that. Well, I actually have judged Pekin Idol, and I've actually put on Pekin Idol.
Okay.
So I just want to say that is a blast, and it is amazing how much talent we've got
Yes.
in this community
Yes.
and surrounding. It's wonderful.
Yes, it's
I mean,
very
I was
nice.
ready to start signing contracts.
Right.
I were your manager, okay?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they were really, that's a lot of fun too. And who doesn't love that, you know?
I love music, so
I do too.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
my eyes are like on
Yeah.
them, like dancing. You might catch me grooving a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But there's no pre-registration for that. You just show up.
For the Wax Factory, to sing with them, there is a registration on our website or on the Facebook page.
Okay.
If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to me and I can get them
Because
signed
usually
up.
karaoke is like so popular and so
Yeah.
much that you really kind of have to have a sign up because
Yeah.
everybody wants to do it.
Well,
You have to,
we only have so much time.
that's what I thought.
So,
Yeah, to get
yeah.
everybody in.
We'd love to have everybody, but unfortunately, we're not able to. Depending on how many people do sign up. In the Wax Factory, they're actually calling the people who sign up themselves to make sure they're still coming and that kind of thing. So we'll have Hell's Half Acre that night.
Oh,
and of
that's
course,
a blast too.
They're hilarious.
They do a wonderful job.
Yes,
yeah.
they do, and they practice and practice and practice, and it seems so real.
Oh.
But Alan Bishop, he
Alan is
cracks me
hilarious.
up.
I know. And the things that they come up with, it's like, who thinks of this stuff?
Yes, and he's just so knowledgeable, and he works at the distillery at French Lick, and I watch his Facebook videos and the tours that he does, and he's just so intelligent in what he does. So it's very real when they do it. So we'll have them, and the baby contest registration, that'll be at the Betterment booth. You can register pretty much the whole night at the Betterment booth for the baby contest.
And we'll bring out those little COVID babies.
Yes. So, I'm hoping for a big turnout. That normally is our biggest turnout, is the baby contest. So we usually have about,
love to show their babies.
Yes. We normally have about 60 babies, so hopefully we have about that much this year. If not more, we'll take
Day
them
for
all.
life, right?
Yes,
What a blessing,
yes.
that we're having babies and celebrating, and I love that.
All their cute little outfits and smiling faces. So.
I got ours ordered.
You got yours.
My two little
Yeah.
they got brand new
Paisley's
outfits.
got her dress. Yep.
I love that.
Yeah. So
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be
she
fun.
says she's a princess. is what
Oh.
she says. I'm a
See, our
princess.
two are made for each other.
I love that.
She goes around wearing
Our
her
girls are best
crown.
friends.
Oh, I love that. Oh
They're
my
2 months
gosh.
apart, so
So someday I'll be sitting here interviewing those two.
Yes.
They'll be coming in
Yeah.
to Beacon Park with
Yeah.
their princess crowns. And they better bring me one, okay?
Yes.
I'm wearing a crown here. I better have one too.
Right.
Yeah. That's
So,
great. I think I do have a crown. I'm sure I do.
I know I've
I'm sure. I pull it out when no one's around. Yeah. I think this is so much fun, and of course the baby contest, and then what do we after that? And this is on Saturday.
So Sunday is the baby contest,
Okay, my bad.
but
We
Saturday
switched.
is pre-registration.
Okay.
So you can come anytime on Saturday to register your baby for the contest.
Okay. Now, if you do not pre-register on Saturday, can you still come and register on Sunday?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
okay,
So
but if you
until
prefer-
3 o'clock
Okay.
on Sunday.
Okay. Now, so actually today, will there be anything vendors set up tonight or anything? If anybody for Friday night, can we get a lemon shake up, Taylor?
I have told the food vendors if they feel like it that they're welcome to.
Uh-huh.
Of course, insurance covers for tonight, so we're
Okay.
good on that end. But I don't know who all will be there. I've left that up to them.
Okay.
I'm sure they are going to be running around doing last minute setup and things
yeah,
like
and
that.
sometimes when you're setting up, you can't get the grill going. I mean,
Right.
so that makes sense. But
Yeah.
I was just wondering if anybody wants to, because a lot of times on Friday nights we're looking for fun things to do. And
Right.
go on down and see if there's,
Or if you want to be nosy, you can just drive down and look at the setup.
FOMO.
Right.
Now.
Right. So we'll be sleeping. We'll be
Yes.
home sleeping.
Yeah.
Preparing for
Well,
tomorrow.
I don't know how much sleep we'll get, but we will be
Yeah.
last minute stuff
Yes.
as well.
Everyone, do your thing. We're
Yeah.
gonna go home and go to bed for a
Yeah.
little bit. Okay.
Yep. Because
So
we'll
then-
be up the next 72 hours.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, something that is, the food is near and dear to our heart. The fireworks are near and dear to our heart. The parade. Let's talk about the shopping, the vendors. Let's
Yeah,
talk about
so-
that.
Roxanne Steer and Brenda Fitzpatrick, they're in charge of the flea
talked to
markets,
them.
and they do a great job with that. So I think they've got some pretty good vendors this year. We'll be excited to see them. Some of them pre-register for the vendors. Some of them show up the day of the setup. So, and that's one of the things you don't have to pre-register for. So it'll be interesting to see what all we have. But they were setting up earlier this week. So I drove by the park twice this week coming home from work, and they were already starting to set up. So,
Wonderful.
yeah. And we
Inside
actually,
treasures.
somebody,
I do too. Lord, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah. we have a lady from Illinois. She's coming. She had called and said that she just likes going to little festivals and setting up. She's actually driving all the way from Illinois to set up at our festival. So that's super cool.
I love
to
it. What
have-
is she bringing? What?
That I don't know. I don't think Roxanne said.
Bird.
Is it?
Is something? Is it bird feed? Birdhouses? Something to
I
do
don't
with
know.
birds, I feel like.
Oh wow.
But
Yes.
probably
That's
handmade stuff. If I had to guess.
Yeah.
Deciding should we bring the van, the
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, that's
Take a couple loads.
Yeah.
There is a
Yeah.
man that's bringing jelly.
What?
Yeah.
Yep. Bringing jelly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
What?
they'll have some pretty cool stuff, I think. Last night, Darlene Hall, she had her Queen meeting
Yes.
last night, and she said that there were some people showing her some homemade jewelry. They were trying to sell some homemade jewelry at the meeting, so
Yeah.
and I know they'll have some of that. But yeah, people start setting up for it fairly early, and so when we go down to the park in a couple hours, I'm sure there'll be a ton up there. So.
I am sure too. I love that. So if because actually on social media I tagged you, which I saw that you responded,
Yes.
but there was asking questions. Is it too late to be a part?
No.
Okay.
No. So they.
And how much is it if you're going to be? Am I putting you on the spot by
No,
asking? Okay.
Nope, it's $100 per
Okay.
vendor, or if you're a returning vendor, it's $90. You get 10% off if you're a returning vendor.
Okay.
But that is for today until Monday. So
Okay.
yeah. It's pretty much $25 a day, and that's our electric and our hookup and all that stuff. So
Wonderful.
yeah,
Okay. And they bring their tables. They bring their own tables.
their own setup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your
their
own
own
setup.
tents.
Okay.
We
Most
don't
people
provide
want
any
their
of
own
that.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we would if we could, but unfortunately we don't
I think
have.
most people want their
access.
own setup the way they do it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but Roxanne and Brenda will be down there all day today,
Okay.
helping people set up, making sure they have enough room and that kind of thing. So
And again, on that too, remember it's probably best to bring cash if you have it, or
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you don't know. Some vendors might have the card machines, but some might not.
yeah, better safe than sorry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fine.
Right.
Yeah, I'd be there with a hat. Help me buy the jam.
You start dancing or singing, make a little money.
That's right. Something to get that jam.
Right.
Well, it sounds like you got it's like packed with everything. I think you got
Yeah.
everybody covered,
Yeah, we're trying to keep it go. We
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
have a makeup for last year, so to speak. So,
Yeah.
and with the 3-day celebration, usually we only have a 2-day celebration
Right.
unless it falls on a weekend or the 4th is on a Sunday. We go into Monday. So next year will be only a 2-year celebration again. So this year we're going to enjoy
2
the
days.
2-day celebration.
Said to you.
Yeah, 2 year, not a 2 year, not a 2 year. No. Yeah.
You gotta find somebody else.
What did you say?
So 2-day celebration next year. But this year we'll do the 3-day, and so we're just gonna soak it in and enjoy it and have a good time. So
Absolutely. Well, it looks like the weather's going to be perfect.
I
Something
hope.
we need. Our fair, we just had a beautiful fair. The
Yes.
weather was outstanding
Yes.
for that. So now we're rolling right into the 4th of July, and this is kind of like the official kickoff for the summer.
Yeah.
This is like it, the 4th of July, and
Yeah.
such wonderful tradition. Is there anything else we missed out?
Well, just on the actual day of the parade and everything on the 5th, we'll do our grand marshal induction, opening ceremonies, all that good stuff, and then our royalty contest. So the prince and princess and the queen contest will be on Monday, and we
And
also
what time is the queen contest? Is it
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock?
4 o'clock. Yep. And that's the last thing. So around 5 o'clock will be the queen announcement, and that will end our celebration. And then we have Big Steel Train, Brian Elmore, he's from Pekin. They will be from 2 to 4 on Monday. They'll be performing from 2 to 4.
Love that. Yeah.
So, yeah. We had a little bit of a gap there, so we figured we'd put some entertainment in and get the crowd pumped and keep them over there for the queen contest. So a lot of times they're like, okay, I'm tired, ready to go home after the parade. So we try to keep them over there all the way until the queen contest.
Go get a lemon shake up. That'll give you. That'll get you
And that sugar, wake you up.
Now on the let's talk about this too for anybody who's not been and who's out of town. This would be a great time to come and visit. It's free.
It's absolutely free.
Yeah.
Yep. It's up now. Of course, you got to pay for any extras that you want, but the parade is 100% free. All the royalty.
You didn't take us to Ray's,
right? right. I got enough of that.
Yeah. But you did. But it is free for everybody to come and listen to the music and be a part. And
all of that is free entertainment. So, come out and just enjoy yourself, enjoy your family and the time that you have, and just make it a good weekend. So
let's talk about parking too, because I really want to be very and I ask this being very respectful, because there are so many homes. Please don't block driveways. Let's be very respectful. I know everybody's looking for that perfect parking spot, and really there's not a bad parking spot because it's
close proximity.
Yeah,
it might be a tiny walk, but it's not gonna make you lose your breath kind of walk.
No. So where's some good places to park, or what are you guys suggesting for anybody out of town who's coming?
Around the park, if you can get a spot, that's always a good place if you can.
That's hard to do.
Yeah,
so
it's hard to do.
Count on that.
The betterment blocks off a spot for us, you know, because we're right up there carrying stuff. So some local churches allow parking. The old bank allows parking there. However, I did see on Facebook, the Church of Christ. It's right there. I can't think of the street, but hold on.
I know exactly where you're at. Yeah.
I will find the message because it got sent to me actually. They're asking on Sunday. Yeah, the Pekin Church of Christ is asking on Sunday, the 4th, from 4:30 to 6:30. That people avoid their parking lot because they'll be having service.
Okay. I didn't know that.
And it's behind Silver Fox Cafe where Hannah's Diner used to be. It's down that road. Yeah. Usually they're very, very gracious of letting us use their property, and they are still going to allow us to use their property. Just not through those times.
Right. You respect that. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. So they said they would have it blocked off, but hopefully no one tries to sneak in. Anything like that.
Right.
But really, just wherever you can find a spot, whip it in and park there. So, yeah.
Well, but do be mindful. I just, I know that like for homeowners. And when you block their driveway or something, that's just not right.
And so many people in Pekin, they're so kind, and they allow you to use their property to park. So if you see them, tell them thank you.
Absolutely.
And, just don't be loud. If you are leaving the fireworks and it's, 11 o'clock at night, just mind your manners and be polite. You hate that we have to remind people to do that, but sometimes you do.
No, you have to remind people to wash their hands. Are you kidding, Taylor?
Right. Sometimes you just have to do that. So, but we are thankful for the local businesses who allow us to use their property and things like that. And we hope to bring them business too. So, Tina's Pizza will be open. Main Street Meats, Top Notch Barbecue will be open. Silver Fox will be open. Of course, Casey's Gas Station. They, have snack foods and pizza and things like that. So, if the food vendor line's too long or it's not opened up yet, things like that, go visit those local businesses. I know today,
if you leave hungry, it's your own fault.
Yes. There you go.
Yes.
There.
Yes.
Look, she said that line. Listen to that. She reported that.
Yeah.
So I tell people at my house, I have plenty of food.
Right?
If you leave my house hungry, it's not my
It's your
fault.
I agree. Yeah, amen to that. Yeah.
Yeah. so-
Wow. Well, you really have a big time plan.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hats off to you guys.
Thank you.
Really. Yeah. I mean, this is not something that's, I really just, if you've ever been on a committee or been a part, and, this is something that takes, and then you have, you're planning on stuff, and you have all this, you have these events planned, and you try to keep it pretty well packed so that there's something all the time, and then maybe one vendor or something happens where they can't make it, or, life happens.
Yeah.
And then as a committee, you got to try to find something, to fill that. So there's just a lot that goes on.
There is.
This is like all year round for you to get ready for this,
Yeah.
right?
And yeah, I don't think people realize that, but
That's what
it's
I'm saying. I don't
literally
think
all year.
We
long.
were laying in bed, but was it last night or 2 nights ago, just talking on the phone, like, okay, do you have this? Do we have this? Is this good? Is that good? What do you need? What do you need?
Right, right.
And like I said, we already have got the contract for fireworks for next year.
Love that.
And in August, we'll start our meetings again with our officer meetings. And then in September, we'll have the entire committee. And
Sounds like you need to lock in the rides too.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it sounds like they're going to be bringing some good stuff.
Yeah. Thankfully.
Will they sign the contract?
Yeah, and Tony Best is good about that. He dedicates his time to Pekin for the 4th. So, and that's a nice thing is a lot of our vendors do return because they enjoy being a part of our celebration, and that's always reassuring because we want people to return. So it's nice to see when they want to and that they enjoy our celebration as much as we do. So.
Well, that says a lot about your committee too. You're easy to work with.
Yeah, we
Well,
try
you
to
get a
be.
good
We try really hard.
Really. Yeah. I don't think we talked enough though, real quick, on the Queen contest, Darlene. I don't think we gave Darlene enough time.
Yeah,
So
Darlene
hats
is
off to her,
amazing.
and she's been working with these queens, queens, and so hats off to her.
And she's got 5 girls that are
Yay.
running this year. And she just goes above and beyond for these girls.
Mhm.
She got them goodie bags just full of stuff. And she got a bunch of donations from local stores in Pekin and in Washington County, and gift cards and just little, fun things for them. Because these girls, it takes a lot of guts to get up on that stage. I was there once, and I know how it is. It's a little bit petrifying when everybody's watching you, and and you get a little vulnerable because you're like, so. She's worked so hard with them, and she works all year long with them. So once they win the court, they will do Shop with a Cop. They will read to the kids at the old time Pekin Christmas. They give out candy on Halloween. She does some community service work. They donate food for the food banks.
They collected prom dresses this year.
They collected prom dresses this year. They do the Crusade for Children with the fire department. So if you win Queen or you're on the court, you're preparing for a busy year.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
So it's not just the 4th of July, and you're representing Pekin and yourself and the betterment. So we take pride in our queens and their court, and we like to see them out there doing good things.
Absolutely.
So,
and that's
but
awesome.
Darlene, she works hard with them. So.
Right. So that's pretty awesome. Well, I think we got talking, we went into something. I can just jump all over it.
Right.
Well, we want to make sure we have the food, the ride,
Yeah.
the parade.
And she does the Prince and Princess. And she actually took over the baby contest.
Okay.
Yeah, well, the Prince and Princess contest, they pre-registered.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the baby contest. So I do all the behind the scenes getting it ready for her because that used to kind of be my baby.
Yeah.
But when I had my baby, I felt like it wasn't fair for me to be in charge of it, picking the judges, that kind of thing, and still put my baby in it.
Sure.
But I didn't want to take that away from my baby because she has a blast, as you know, from the Salem one. So she's excited to be back in it, and I don't want to be a part of that. But when she goes on to, well, actually no, because I'm having another little girl, so it's a couple more years before I take over.
Yeah.
But when they go to the Prince and Princess contest, then I'll take back over the baby contest and give Darlene a break.
I would not have been surprised if Taylor, you would have said, I just don't, I can't make it, Becky, but Hazley's coming in this morning.
Right.
I would not.
She would talk to you.
Yeah, I know. I would put her
She
a pillow
would.
for
She
her.
is
I
not
would put
shy.
a pillow for her seat, and I think we could have carried this on. And I think she, I'm completely convinced of that.
She knows she's going to be in the parade, so wave at Hazley because she'll be in the Grand Marshal truck.
She loves that.
Head out the window, waving at everybody. She's star of the show.
Yeah, she is. She danced too.
Yeah,
There better be
she
some
likes to
music.
dance.
Don't you dare not have some music for that girl.
Take a bow. Take a bow. That's what she says.
So one thing that I forgot, one big thing I forgot, one of our changes that we made with the parade is pre-registration.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we did that. We continued that as well.
Okay.
That makes things so much easier for myself. My two little ones are only 17 months apart.
Yeah.
And I'm a wife and mom first and foremost.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all these little last minute things take up so much time that nobody thinks of.
Sure. No. Yeah.
So that was one thing that helped so much. So we are keeping that. But I already have, for those in this year's parade, I will already have next year's registration form ready to go.
Awesome.
You will be able to fill it out right then and there and turn it right back in. That way, if you even think you want to be in it next year, you know you don't even have to worry about it.
Love that. Yeah.
So
that's wonderful. Well, and I think that that's something we really, because it hadn't been like that, but I think it's more organized that way. I always wondered how in the world, because actually Pekin 4th is one of the biggest parades, and it's actually one of the better parades. You guys, and from everybody, and what you do is fantastic, and I think that makes sense now. Especially that gives you kind of an idea of who you're going to have, and like, are you going to have a lot of this and have a lot of that, and kind of make it a little more.
Yeah. So when I first started, the lady that had it before me, she had the manpower. She had her 20 to 30 volunteers with her. She could do it
that brings up
that way.
That brings up a good point.
I do not, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Like I love my volunteers so much, but I don't have that kind of
and that's good
manpower.
information to tell people. Because the key word here is volunteer.
Yes.
We need to remind everybody these are volunteers, so please don't be.
So I always tell my volunteers, your job is to do what I have asked you to do. Mm-hmm. If somebody comes across rude or ugly or whatever, you have my phone number. I will come deal with them. I will not tolerate that.
You got walkie-talkies and all kinds of Tisha comes prepared.
I think it's true, and I think that's something that we in the world have got to keep reminding people. And I think we see it in businesses, we see it in restaurants, we see it, like dining room not open because of short staff, or or they had to close early because of short staff. Well, this is where we're at.
Yeah,
and I think right now to get volunteers is an act of Congress to get volunteers, and because it is hard for people to give their time, and everybody's busy.
Yeah.
So I just want to keep reminding everybody we've got volunteers, and this is the way. These are the rules. This is what we have said. You've said it. You've said it, and so therefore, this is the way. And I think that's a good game plan.
Yeah, and we do ask too that people drive very cautiously coming into the school and going to your spot. Don't be speeding. Yeah. Watch out for pedestrians, little kids especially.
There are little kids.
And, they might be walking to the porta potty or throwing something away, their decorations, or I think it was 2 years ago we had an incident, and we had to.
I got kicked out.
Yeah, they had to leave, unfortunately. No, we don't want to do that. We want everybody to be there and have a good time, but be safe and be respectful of others. Yeah. So, Becky, if you don't mind, I do have some sponsors, so I told them I'd mention them on the radio. So we have some platinum donors that we'd like to thank, and that's Worley Lumber Company, RL Parts Plus, and Telemedia. And then our gold donors, First Harrison Bank and Temple and Temple Excavating and Paving. We just want to thank them. I'm reading this off my phone here. So, our silver donors is Hillcrest Pallets and Salem Speedway and the West End Drags. so we want to thank them. Our bronze sponsors are Pearly Farms, MJ Auto Sales, John Jones Auto Group, Silver Fox Cafe, Nana's This and That Shop, Triple G Gun Gallery, and let's see here. I think that's it. Oh, and Mosher Family Chiropractic. So we want to thank all of them for their generous donations, and then we of course have our special donors who they help us in different ways, just like you, WSLM Radio. We appreciate you for allowing us to come on here, and you've done all of our coverage for us. And the Salem leader, Paul Rutherford, he's our tax guy, so he donates his time to do the Betterment Taxes for us every year.
Oh, that's awesome.
Shelby Whitaker, she runs our Facebook page for us. Photography by Michaela. She does all the Queen and the Prince and Princess pictures. And then L&D Mailmasters, they do our ad books for us. Fisher Hardware in Salem, they donated bales of straw for the Grand Marshal trailer. And then just, of course, my family, Tisha's family, all of the Betterment family who has, came in to help us. And Designer Cuts, they made us a very nice wreath for our podium this year. So we've had a lot of generous donations, and we're very thankful because we don't make this happen on our own. So, yeah.
Real quick, and I know we can talk all day long. The Grand Marshal. Tell us who the drum roll.
It's okay. If Tisha wants to kind of chime in, I had another radio interview earlier this week out of Indianapolis, and I got so emotional talking, which I'm pregnant, most of you know, so my emotions are high. But
it is emotional this year, just like last year.
Yeah, we just keep doing that to ourselves.
But it's so worth it.
Yes. So, First Lieutenant Scott Wayne Ames Jr., he is our Grand Marshal this year, or honorary Grand Marshal. His family, his family will be in the Grand Marshal vehicle this year with us, and they will be accepting the plaque on his behalf. He's a very dear friend of ours, and he was a pilot in the Air Force. He was a trainer pilot, and he was involved in a horrific accident back in February, and he lost his life serving our country. So, yeah. Sorry.
Well, I think it's good for people to know, and I love this family, and to show the family that that your community is with you. And
yeah, and Scott, the 4th of July was his absolute favorite holiday. He never missed one. That's where he met our daughter for the first time. Actually, was in 2019. He got to come home from pilot training. He got to come home, and he met her at the 4th of July. So it's special. He'd be here if he could. So it'll be an honor to honor him.
Well, I think that's important.
Brownstown, Seymour, North Vernon, the region's rock classic station, 97.9, 97.9 W.
But we gotta be.
Yeah, so we tried to make that happier this year. A magical 4th.
Yeah, love that.
Yep. So think of the B word, but don't say it.
You wish upon a star.
Yeah.
Right.
Is anybody getting the hint here? Yeah. Well, that's gonna be.
And we're looking forward to some of the parade stuff because Darlene has been a stickler on her girls decorating this year. And we feel like this will give them a good way to really, princesses and all this stuff. And so it'll be fun to see what they do.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, girls, thank you for coming in. This is going to be fun. And of course, I've got it on my website. I'll have it on Facebook too. Got a Facebook information. And I think you've gone over it, making sure. But I know there'll still be some that'll ask, and we'll keep answering these questions.
Yeah.
10 a.m.
Yep.
Saturday night fireworks, Sunday or Monday parade. So those are, and of course, in between that, you got food, you got vendors, you've got talent and shows and stuff. So wonderful. That's awesome.
You won't be bored, that's for sure. There's got to be something to do.
Yeah.
The whole weekend.
Absolutely. And you've created something for our community and the surrounding community to come and be a part of.
Yeah.
You said you had nothing to do. We'll change that.
Right.
Don't say that around
Again,
here.
it's gonna be your own fault.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All right. We also have we've been getting back real quick doing the COVID spots. Or no, you don't want to do them? Are we okay?
No, it didn't all print out. So.
Oh, you didn't all print out. Okay. All
I can
right.
tell you for the state.
Okay. Let's hear the
We
state.
had 249 new cases, 5 new deaths. Our local listening area, we had 13 new cases and no new deaths.
Okay.
That's about as in depth as I can.
Okay. Thank you, Laura, on that. Okay. All right. Whatever the better, sometimes.
Technical
technology.
We understand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just
I'm like, Tisha, my Nana's printer's really slow. Can you please print these off for me real quick? Or I'm going to be late to the meeting. That's, we understand.
Yeah. What a good friend. I tell you what.
That's right.
Yeah. So are you
Do what
the
I
goose
can.
of the Maverick? Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, thank you, girls, for coming in. Thank you for all you've done.
Yeah, thank
And
you for having us.
I know my family personally will be enjoying it.
Yes.
So thank you for the hard work and to the
Bring Aspen down.
Oh yeah, I think she wants to come down and be a part.
She'll be in the parade, right?
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah.
I can't wait to see what she decorates.
We're
You're a magical family, so.
So we're very much so. So yeah, if I just say if for some reason she couldn't, I would.
Right. You guys can pass.
Okay, well, you are too kind. That better be a distant parade.
No.
Like the cameras up, everyone, okay? I appreciate you're very kind. You're very kind. That's the way to make friends. Definitely, but not true. No.
Work on your
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Oh, I've got it. She's in a house full of girls. You don't think we all?
Oh, yeah.
Give us that crown. Give us that. We all play. We love playing dress up. Anyway, no matter what age you are. Anyway, so hats off to the Betterment Committee, Pekin Betterment Committee. Pekin's the place to be, and of course, also we didn't get to hear from Frank Kimball. He might have got busy. He's kind of busy doing stuff. Bill from the Speedway too, but we want to say they're going to be putting on a big race for us, another great event for our community, and what a blessing. And I tell you what, if you've ever talked with Bill and his roots and the traditions, or he's kept up and making it affordable for people, making more family friendly, and it's a great time too.
They stay very, very busy. They're one of our sponsors. So, we like Bill and Ashley. They're
they're
good
fantastic.
people.
They're wonderful.
Yeah.
And I love their family values.
Yes.
I love that. Yeah.
Yes.
Great. All right. And Laura, thank you for keeping up the great work and what you got going on at San Francisco Meadowview.
have to look at our Facebook page. We celebrated CNA week.
Nice.
Yeah.
We had puppies visiting yesterday.
Aw.
Cute puppies.
Puppy.
So yeah.
Little puppy breath.
We're just having a great time. So,
It's nice.
Oh, you can't beat puppies.
No,
and
we
we're
can't.
back open for tours. So
All right.
yay, check us
There
out.
you go. Absolutely. Let's thank our sponsor.
Absolutely. We have Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Kentucky Anna Cat and Court, and Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gatton.
Yay. Thank you to our great sponsors. Everyone have a happy
Friday.
Friday. Happy Friday.
Dumpster rental for your cleaning projects is easy with KCC Disposal. If you are a homeowner and you're cleaning out your garage, or you're a business owner and with a cleanup project,